Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another News Fist. Tonight, we have one of the weirdest articles currently circulating around the net. Some people are saying it is parody. Others are saying it is serious. How can we tell? I've got my Clown World glasses here. I take them off. I put them back on. Everything looks the same. Indeed, I am not the only person who has commented that one of the biggest problems with the modern world today is that you are frequently coming across stuff and it's impossible to tell whether it is a joke or not. This article is an excellent example. They knew. Why didn't the unvaccinated do more to warn us? The unvaccinated knew what we didn't. Some of them said too little. Most said nothing at all. A lot of blood is now on their hands. Now, a lot of people would think this must be surely a parody. However, the site on which this is published, IQfy, they do sort of just weird kind of like clickbaity stuff. And this may in fact just be pure clickbait. None of IQfy's articles have any names attached to them. There's no way to know who the journalist was. It's just this weird site on the web. If you go to the About page for IQfy, it seems to be basically sort of based on woke feminism. About IQfy. Feminine audiences deserve something better. It's time to elevate the conversation. Most of our content is designed for feminine folks because we believe that transformative change is most easily achieved by supporting the global feminine majority, and that change making must evolve to interface with minutiae of life and culture, the everything is political rule, but for philanthropy and activism. I mean, give me a more woke statement than that. This is written in high woke, essentially. We're staunchly nonpartisan. Yeah, right. I look forward to seeing their article defending Donald Trump. Come on, they're not nonpartisan. And have held every power under the sun to account at some point. Ah, yes, holding them to account. We believe in judging every issue on its own merits and following the path of maximum good. Now look at this. Globo Homo artwork. They've got their own weird pride flag, the Team Sunshine flag. So apparently they are funded by Team Sunshine, who was assembled by a generous philanthropist concerned with increasing attacks against democracy, science, and even decency itself. It's tasked to strategically raise and direct global emotional IQ in key regions and development phases. So this is like massively woke. The Team Sunshine flag represents the feminine radiating sunshine into the masculine world below. The orange tinge represents dawn or change. The number 4 represents everything, the 4 corners of the world, and the Pythagorean 4 parts of the soul. Oh my God, miss me with this gay shit. Woof. Discussion with expert partners advised us that empowering women is the single most effective development tool. I think you guys are running out of runway. I think this push is about to reach its, summit or nadir, I guess, depending on your viewpoint. It doesn't say anywhere in this that they do satire. They are about building global consciousness and emotional IQ through uplifted conversations, believing that science is true and that knowledge is power. Yeah, right. Rejecting political categorizations, labels, and other vestments of infantile discourse. I say. All I'm saying is it's complicated, bro. Disruption through creamy good writing. Ew! Keep your cream off your keyboard, you degenerate motherfuckers. That moves beyond author-reader power dynamics. Writing that actually listens. Writing that actually listens. Oh my God, mate, these guys should win a woke award. I mean, unless this entire site is some weird parody of woke. I mean, I guess it's hard to know. There are no people behind it. There are no names attached. It could just be some weird glow-up done by someone on the right to make the left look like idiots. Although, I gotta say, the left are doing a pretty good job of this themselves. I don't think they need any help. Integrating smart global thinking into hip culture and vice versa. No minutiae of life or culture are insignificant in the change maker mindset. Oh my God. Celebrating nerds, nerding out, community, shared experiences, global values locally. This is all, Fact check true. Corporate responsibility is necessarily smarter business, more diverse business, and ultimately more productive business. Being messy is valid. So, hey, look at this. Unpacking every knapsack, making a heckin' mess, and that is valid. Oh my, Jesus, God, this just goes on, and it ends with a land acknowledgement. Right. So, it's not satire. As far as I can see, they look as woke as hell. So to anyone who out there is like, you can't tell the difference between satire and reality. Well, yes. I mean, can anyone at this point, right? Like, seriously. But I am going to assume that this is, in fact, a real article, although I will grant that it may have just been written for rage clicks, in which case it's doing a damn fine job. So, they knew. Why didn't the unvaccinated do more to warn us? Because they were all fucking censored, obviously. The unvaccinated knew what we didn't. Some of them said too little. Most said nothing at all. A lot of blood is now on their hands, which presumably are not shaking or filled with cancer. As the world struggles to come to terms with the devastating effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. Oh my God. Every single freaking article starts like this. Because of the consequences of the COVID-19 pandemic. It's exactly the same as Black Lives Matter. After Black Lives Matter, every single goddamn article started with a paragraph that said something like, due to the social backlash of the death of George Floyd, blah, 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 blah. This is the opening position, after which they must be like, blah, 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 blah. And here's the crap you must accept. One question that continues to surface is why the unvaccinated didn't do more to warn us about the potential dangers of being injected. I can see why people would think this is satire. I mean, I just don't know anymore, bros. Does anyone have a cure for Clown World? If you do, please leave in the comments below. Maybe if we can find a cure, I could start selling it as merch. God knows I'm not getting paid enough for this fucking job. While well-intending citizens lined up, did the right thing, and received their COVID-19 vaccinations, now seeming to do more harm than good. Oh my God, you're not allowed to say that. Their unvaccinated friends stood by and let them do it. Yes, I for one, I didn't tell anyone. I didn't say anything. I just stood by, and they were like, oh my God, why didn't you tell me? I did tell you. You told me I was goddamn crazy. Yes, indeed. I have a meme for exactly this. Woman screaming at cat, version 3, encapsulates it perfectly, of course. Even though they knew what we didn't, our blood is now on their hands. Yes, of course, you made a bad choice, and it's everybody else's fault. I mean, classic woke position, really. So, I mean, those are strong words, but we're going to say them because we're IQfy. We're not afraid to take on the patriarchy or the white supremacy or, whatever is happening to make us rage clicks. Those are strong words, but the unvaccinated had access to important information about the potential side effects of vaccines. They knew about the risks of severe allergic reactions, blood clots, and other serious health complications. They knew that vaccines did not immunize us. They knew it wasn't effective, and they caused more harm than good. They knew all that, but instead of warning us, the unvaccinated chose to remain silent. No, what you are dealing with is the consequence of censorship. I just don't know whether to take this seriously or not, honestly. They chose to look the other way and not speak out about the potential dangers of vaccine. Yes, many people spoke out. And they got fired and silenced. I mean, it's a bit fucking rich, again, if this is real. They let millions of good folks who did the right thing at the time fall to death and disease, and many anti-vaxxers even gloated online about how their coin flip had been the right bet. It was not a goddamn coin flip. I am sick of this frickin' argument. It was very, very, very clear, right, that taking a new medical procedure that has been rushed without testing under an environment of coercion and psychological warfare that was manufactured by a massive pharmaceutical conglomerate that had some of the largest fines for corporate malfeasance in US history was a fucking dodgy idea. I didn't need to know anything about the actual vax to know that this was a bad goddamn idea. Just that information enough was purely enough to inform my decision. And then, of course, the more the coercion moved in and the more the government's like, oh, you've got to do this thing, the more suspicious I became. Because if it was that good, if it was that effective, it would have sold itself. If COVID was that much of a threat, it would have sold itself. People would have been lining up for it. The more diabolical even urged folks they disagree with to get boosted. Well, I mean, yeah, it's true. This is an insult being used on the internet quite a bit. I mean, what can I say? You get what you fucking deserve, I guess. It has all become too clear. The silence of the unvaccinated was a dangerous, sociopathic, and irresponsible decision that has had serious consequences for those of us who received the vaccination. And silence, after all, is consent. What? Is this real? I can't tell anymore, dear viewer. Oh my God. Silence is consent. Since when? I thought silence was violence. Is silence consent now? Oh, mate, I just can't keep up. Soon silence is going to be like genocide or some stuff. By merely keeping your mouth closed, you'll be accused of killing millions of people. You just sit there and just get everything in the world blamed on you, as long as you're white, obviously. It's time for the unvaccinated to take responsibility for their actions and to work with the rest of us to find a solution to this crisis. No refunds, buddy. I mean, look, I can check. I can check. Let me have a look. Let's see. Pfizer.com/refunds. No. Seems the refunds page for Pfizer is not found. Must be an oversight. I'm sure their website's just undergoing maintenance, bros. Right? Right. We cannot afford to let their selfishness and lack of action continue to harm our communities. It's time for the unvaccinated to step up and do the right thing. What? Reparations? Take over the jobs that the vaccinated are now no longer able to do? Have more children with other unvaccinated women? What are you talking about? Be more specific. IQfy. If this isn't a joke. Oh my God. This is so derangement making. Being able to not make a determination either way. The unvaccinated should, by any moral measuring stick, have done more to warn about the potential risks, to help us make informed decisions about our health, and they must now ask for our forgiveness. This has got to be a joke, right? I don't know which is more frightening, right? That this isn't a joke, and there really are people who believe this. That Clown World has accelerated to the point where, in order to farm rage clicks, these kind of articles are being written, and it's that hard to tell the difference. Or a third thing that I just forgot. And hand to heart, we may just give it to them. Yes, the vaccinated may just forgive us. Oh, it's very, very big. Their hearts are extremely large, not because of any vaccine side effects. Their hearts aren't large, not swollen. Swollen would be different. They mean large in spirit and possibly large inside, or at least the sac around the heart would be larger inside. Because we are good people. We took those injections because it was the right thing to do. Until it wasn't. This has got to be satire. Surely. Mate. I mean, that last line kind of tends to suggest that it is satire. But if it is satire, mate, I gotta say, bloody good job, whoever wrote this. This is truly some pretty epic satire hidden in a bunch of like weird articles about self-care for over 50s, 7 signs you've evolved into a full-blown bridezilla, 5 genius tips to look productive at work without actually doing anything, how to hide a promiscuous past from your new man. I mean, this is just 6 gods who use their powers to get laid. I mean, it's just such shit tier thing. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, if this isn't a joke, fuck you. If it is a joke, amazing work. I'm not surprised. Everyone's talking about it. I'm sure you'll earn 1 million clicks and a bunch of like ad dollars and stuff like that. Anyway, this has been your latest dose of Clown World. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you very much. Please like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And we'll see you in a couple of days. Good night.